SFLm Nation, welcome in. Get comfortable, have a seat. Don't turn that channel. You're not going to want to. I was going to say for the next hour and a half or so. No, correct me on that. For the rest of the evening, great football back-to-back tonight on the the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. Camera duty here with DJ Kilgannon. As always, we welcome you in as today we have the Boston Rebels coming into town to face the Philadelphia Cougars. 2-5 teams getting ready for win number 3 on the season. Who's it going to be, DJ? What you got?
Well, Cam, I think this one is going to be interesting. And we got a pretty interesting dynamic going into this game. And we got a little bit of downtime to fix some technical issues. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and talk about this matchup a little bit. It's really interesting because, Philadelphia, they have 2 wins on the season, along with Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boston, their 2 wins are against Philadelphia. But at the same time, Philadelphia's 2 wins are against teams that have pretty steadily beat Boston more than once. So, I think going into the game, you look at these teams with not having great records, 2-5 to their names. I think it's going to be a lot more exciting than we lead on.
And thank you all for joining in. Thank you again, DJ. Camera duty here again with DJ Kilgannon. Alex West back at headquarters doing some work as we speak, getting the feed ready to roll for tonight's game. We'll say hello to those out there in the chat. We've got Bob Wood. We've got Iggy, who just so happened to call off tonight, so he is here. We're going to put on a show for you. Frank Doom from London, Kentucky. Very cool. It was just a short couple of days ago. I found myself in London, Kentucky. I wish I'd known Frank. And we welcome you back, folks, right here, as you see, welcoming you inside to the home confines of Philadelphia. As we said, 2-5 teams ready to go. Expect the unexpected. And that's what we're going to get this evening as we take a look at the uniforms, the threads that these teams are wearing.
Yep.
Philly
really
going all
spiffy.
black here.
Yeah, I like that old black look. And, Boston, they have a new receiver thrown into the mix that we've seen in the chat. Angel Maldonado, welcome to the league, and hopefully we can see a nice performance from them coming into week 1. I had a chance to get to talk to Dondas Talacarne, who we know does some of the coaching over in Boston. He really, really is ready to see Maldonado get involved and is expecting a big game out of them. And on D, kind of just wanting to continue what they do best. They bring pressure. We know that's what Boston does. They want to put that QB on ice, and we expect to see more of it tonight.
And kick off, the ball is taken out to the 34-yard line by Bonnets. And we say hello to this starting lineup. As we said, of course, Philadelphia getting the ball to start. We say hello to quarterback Mike Skamizniak. The 2 halfbacks, Rashawn Williams and Jesse Fretz. The fullback, John Osmosis. The wide receivers, Toby Bonnets, Jamar Shelton, and Ladam McBrowski. The tight ends, Goose Busters and Jonathan Kilgore. And on the line, it's Leo Chang, Astro Smith, and Scott Calvin. 1st and 10, toss play, right side, and a good run immediately out of the gate by Rashawn Williams. Gain of 10 for the first.
Yeah, Rashawn Williams has just been such a consistent piece of this Philadelphia offense, right? He's just, after he's had some pretty big shoes to fill. Had Frank Udon to start the season, and Rashawn Williams has came in and filled the role that was left really well.
Ground game once more. Big hit applied to Jesse Fretz after a 4-yard gain. This Boston defense, led by the defensive tackles May West and Landon on him. The defensive ends Baron Went and Moss Booker. The linebackers Morgan Brown and William Patterson and Duncan on him. The cornerbacks Hudson Cruz and Jimmy Hatsis, and the safeties are Zion Waddles and Dondas Talacarne. Toss play right side, breaking a tackle, but not getting very far as Rashawn Williams, as it's Morgan Brown who comes in to make the stop.
And Morgan Brown swarmed to the ball carrier there. Dondas Talacarne was the first to reach the ball carrier, unable to bring him down. And Just fighting for every chunk of yardage right there is Rashawn Williams.
First third down of the evening. Good protection. Plenty of time to go
Oh!
deep, and look at the benefits, the rewards that will be reaped. Jamar Shelton over the shoulder with the touchdown reception. He takes it to the house.
Jamar Shelton not giving Boston any time to breathe at all. Just beats the one-on-one coverage and leaves Showtime Jimmy Hatsis in the dust. What a route, what a throw, what a catch by the Cougars.
Using that home field advantage to good use. And a great play immediately. Now, no contracted kicker here for Philadelphia.
Yep.
Something to keep in mind when you take a look at the minor league action, is we don't have any contracted kicker in play this evening, nor punter for that matter. Extra point is good. Philadelphia strikes early on a 4-play drive.
Yeah, really, really quick drive. You know, they kind of started to beat Boston down with the run game, and then out of nowhere throws a bomb over the head of the defense. I certainly wasn't expecting it, and clearly Boston wasn't either.
Good return here for Boston out to the 33-yard line. That's kind of average field position, I guess you would say, for these squads down here on this minor league level. Let's say hello to the Boston offense led by quarterback Dakota West, the two halfbacks Jacob Brewer and Lenore West, the fullback Bismarck Wright, the wide receivers Joey Hightower, Curtis Friesen, new addition to the team Angel Maldonado, the tight ends Django West and Mike Kleinecht, the offensive line Oliver Tarask, Demon Pickle, and Portia Henson. And we will talk about this Boston offense, which we've had a lot of opportunities to see this season. West throwing on first down. Somehow that's a reception. Don't ask me how Mike Kleinecht come up with that one, gain of 6.
Yeah, Kleinecht has just been such a solid target for Dakota West as a receiver goes all season, and one of the key marked parts of this offense. Great in the blocking game, great in the passing game, just such a good player.
Handoff right side, running hard, Lenore West. And, you know, we had a chance to call what I feel like, even though it ended up in a loss last week, Boston's best game, DJ. Their most complete game. Even though they fell short to New York, that was probably the best we had seen a lot of these players look.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And, and there we go. That's a lot of what we saw in that game, Cam.
Yeah, I mean, just a great variation of run pass, but like you said, you had Dakota West connecting with Hightower and Curtis Friesen both, really making it difficult on the defense.
Yeah, and I think that was if I'm not mistaken, that was the game Friesen got hurt. I mean, so we've called a lot of these games together, sometimes get a little mixed up, but yeah, he went down early, you know, at the start of that last game, and it had a really, really nice half, and then got hurt, and then kind of disappeared after that. But Joey Hightower, you know, was putting in the work whenever others weren't able to, and they just have such a well-balanced offense altogether.
West with the carry, and that's, you know, another thing. If it's not Friesen and Hightower making big plays or Kleinecht, you have very capable halfbacks and a fullback in Bismarck Wright who can get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
2nd and 4. They keep it on the ground. That's Jacob Brewer with the carry. He doesn't get much, and so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Rebels.
And when you look at this Boston offense, you know, we talk about that balance. All 3 of their main rushers have over 100 yards. Lenore West, being the one to lead the charge, has over 200. And as a team, they have 6 rushing touchdowns, so it's a very, very capable rushing attack.
Fake handoff. Ooh, and it is tipped. That Philadelphia defense. Cronkworthy with the deflection, and that brings up 4th and 4. And let's introduce you to the stars of that defense who made that stop happen. Defensive tackles Michael Percoco and Rose Steele. The defensive ends was Don Rohr and L.J. Hobbs. The linebackers Nixon Cooper, Zachary Babineau, and Aaron Collins. The cornerbacks Miranda Dumas, Eaton Moss, and the safeties Cronkworthy and Kev Say Jr. Fair catch called for here, and that will be taken at the Philadelphia 11-yard line as Skamizniak and company get the ball back.
I mean, how helpful does it got to be for a defense to have a guy like Cronkworthy, you being down playing on this roster. They have a bunch of young SFL reinforcements, Cronkworthy being one of them, who was in voting for Defensive Player of the Week last week, and Miranda Dumas, who has also been in the voting in previous weeks past, playing for Bossier City. That guy and gal have to. I can only imagine the veteran presence they bring, and they're still so close to these guys in age, being really early on players in the SFL, but with how high of a level they play in the major league, coming down and being able to support this cast of younger cats it's just a huge advantage, I imagine, for Philly.
You gotta imagine, DJ, you're correct. It's a great bridge between the two leagues to have someone who is still pretty fresh off of a SFLm career and kind of learning the ropes and maturing as they progress into the majors. A first and 10 run there for Philadelphia. Those of you just joining in, it was a connection from Skamizniak to Jamar Shelton for the touchdown that put Philadelphia up 7-0. And now really it's on Boston here to try to stop this Philadelphia offense. They can't let any deep threats go unguarded. I want to come up with a stop here.
Look.
Heavy look indeed. Okay, and look at this navigating. Jesse Fretz cutting back inside and going to make it a very manageable 3rd and 1 after a really good pickup on 2nd.
Cam, I don't know if you got the chance to watch. I know you didn't call it, but the last week, Philadelphia and San Jose, it was arguably one of the best games of the season. Unfortunately for Philadelphia, Mike Skamizniak, oh, what a run.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
What a carry. Go right ahead, DJ.
And Mike Skamizniak ended up getting hurt super, super early in that game. I think he only completed 4 passes maybe in the loss to San Jose last week. That went down to overtime. And it was just such a tight game. And, a lot of people talked about maybe if Mike Skamizniak was on the field, they take that win. And now we'll be able to see if Mike Skamizniak is able to bounce back after the tough injury last week.
So far, so good for Philadelphia. This ground game just, relentless right now. Started on the 11-yard line this drive and has worked their way up to just about midfield.
Yeah, really, really steady right now. And, not too many chunk plays. They're kind of just running and this is kind of what we saw in that first drive. A lot of running to maybe set up the pass if that's what they're going for.
Again to the ground game, and why change? Look at Williams lowering his head and shoulders and just burying forward into the defender who could only really hang on for the ride. It's 1st and 10.
Yeah, and this is starting to seem like the Philly that we've seen of old. Really early on in the season, their first week or two, they were absolutely dominant in the run game. 150, 160-yard performances. And so far, Rashawn Williams and Jesse Fretz are putting on a clinic right now.
Toss play, and it's not going to go anywhere. Now, I will admit it got a little bit better traction than what I thought. Fretz there with a couple yards. Jimmy Hatsis was hanging on for that tackle. 2nd and 7 coming up here.
That's a nice way to fight from the Week 6 signing. Looked like it was going to be well behind the line of scrimmage, but was able to fight for 3 yards, which was, surprising to me.
Impressive. I did not expect that. I thought that was going to be stopped right in its tracks. So to turn that into a positive was, a great job right there by the youngster. Now, Williams, oh, look at that vicious stiff arm pushing forward for the 1st down. And Boston right now just kind of scratching their head on how to stop this ground attack.
Yeah, and, Rashawn Williams is just such a nice mix of speed and physicality. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. For such a big dude, seeing him move like that out there on the field is just terrifying to look at. And I would hate to be the guy in front of him trying to bring him down with that full head of steam he's got.
Tough task for anyone, and they've seen it happen a couple of times tonight. Interchangeable here between Fretz and Williams at the moment. Fretz gets that carry and a gain of 3.
Yeah, it seems like they're at least starting to gain 3 yards per run. I can't remember the last time they got less than that, if at all, on this drive. And now looks like Boston's starting to realize it as they pack the box super heavy.
2nd and 7, but Williams still fighting. Gets the 1st down. Multiple white and gradient red jerseys to take him down. I can't just say white jersey. Look at all the colors in this jersey here, DJ.
Yeah, my goodness. And Williams just barreling over defenders. My goodness. If he keeps up this same amount of energy all night, it's going to be hard to stop. And he's had a really good season coming into this week. 220 yards with 6 touchdowns. One of the best goal backs in the game.
Oh, my goodness. Coming in on that play off the bench is, no, I'm sorry, that's Jamar Shelton. I apologize. I got that number there. Thought that was one of the players on the third string there coming in. But no, that's Jamar Shelton. That's the man who made the big touchdown catch, the week 2 signing, putting in some good work today.
Yeah, and with how dominantly they're running the ball right now, Cam, it's going to be really, really easy for Philadelphia to get those chunk plays like they have.
And this right here is an absolute terrible situation for Boston. And going into the end zone untouched is Rashawn Williams diving in, making it look easy for the touchdown.
Yeah, Rashawn getting his 7th on the season, and we saw him a couple weeks ago have the hat trick of touchdowns in one game, and now he is back and scoring some more for Philadelphia, untouched on his way to the end zone. He is just automatic from the goal line.
This drive started at the 11-yard line. Wow. An incredible drive. Extra point is good. 14-0. Philadelphia at home taking care of business so far in this game, but it is early. Now, Philadelphia's had 2 great drives underneath them. We'll see what Boston can do this early on in this game. I hate to say it with 1:14 remaining in the first quarter, but this does feel like a very dire situation for Boston to be in so early in this game.
Yeah, and I think you have to play like it is.
Oh,
because if you, oh my gosh.
Look at this return. Oh, now that's how you do it. That's a spark right there. Joey Hightower, I don't mean to interrupt you there, DJ, but what a return.
Yeah, what a return indeed. And, you know, a lot of the time we're seeing Friesen back there, but now Hightower getting his chance to spin to the left and stiff arming a guy doing his Rashawn Williams impression. He just gets back to about the 50. What a return. And, you know, the Philadelphia got the touchdown in deep field position in their own territory. Now Boston getting it this far down the field to start their drive is the best way to start it.
Like we said, a spark needed to get these Rebels off the ground. That may be just what the doctor ordered as West throws down the field. Incomplete. Really good coverage, just completely blanketed. As Cronkworthy on the coverage.
Yeah, really, really tight coverage that time. And, you know, Cronkworthy putting his mark on this game already, playing up in Chicago, and get to share a locker room with that guy, great guy. And, you know, he's putting on a display on the field right now for sure.
Keep an eye on Hightower as he goes in motion to the bottom of your screen. Dakota West takes the snap, fake handoff, going to step up and try to run, but nowhere to go. Didn't like any options downfield, but Nixon Cooper able to make the stop there. Great job.
Yeah, really nice sack for Cooper, and just a really, really nice start for the defense, and a way to try and shut down that drive from Boston before it even gets a chance to start, putting them behind the sticks to start the drive in the great field position they had.
Trying to keep from going 3 and out. West looking deep. Oh, off the shoulder pads because it was deflected and incomplete. Again, amazing coverage downfield for Philadelphia. And that wonderful field position, not able to gain anything from it. It's 4th and 13, and that drive lasted a little less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's got to be rough if you're Boston. You know, you got to think going into that drive that you're going to be able to put points on the board with such good field position. But unfortunately for them, just unable to. Philadelphia just really, really showed up on that defensive drive.
Not much there in the way of the punt. And so Philadelphia will take over at the 25-yard line. So for the moment, DJ, Boston trying to find their footing on offense and simply put, this Philadelphia defense too dominant right now on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Long way to go, folks. 28 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Philadelphia looking for their third score of the night. They start here good field position, and you know that's on their mind. Just run that football. I can't talk tonight. Dominantly down the field. Hey, listen, commentators get tongue-tied too.
It
And
happens.
so far, so good. 14-0. Big load of run right there on this series.
Yeah. And if you're Philly, why stop what isn't broken? They're running it to perfection right now, and we can only imagine that they're going to continue that as they drain the clock out of the first quarter.
And you know what? A byproduct of all of that ground attack, that was a quick first quarter, folks. Already one stanza in the books. Philadelphia leads Boston 14-0. You are watching the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. Cameron Duty here with DJ Kilgannon and Alex West at SFLm headquarters. Thank you all in the chat this evening, keeping it lively. PG Rustic, good to have you here. Miles, Jason Peace, Lakeman. Good carry on second down. Brings up 3rd and 1 for Philadelphia, and a chance for Boston to get their first stop of the night.
Yeah, and they've kind of been alternating when it comes to runs. And yeah, we do see Jesse Fretz now in the backfield, and Williams already 11 carries, 84 yards, and 7.6 average yards per carry. My goodness.
Trying to pick up a yard, going to be able to do it. What a move by Jesse Fretz. A little stutter there, a little hesitation, enough to open up a seam to push forward and get the first down.
Yeah, that one was looking tight there for a second, but Fretz able to slip past the defenders, and he's 6'1", 217, not a small guy by any means, but able to slip through the defenders like it was nothing, and it got enough for the first, and that's really all that matters on that play.
Toby Bonnet's going in motion. The handoff right up the middle. Williams trying to push the pile. Good old ground and pound up the gut. And a couple yards gain.
Yeah, now, if you're Boston, what can you really do to try and adjust to this? You know what they want to do. They've been doing it the whole time, and maybe they're a little bit worried after that first touchdown bomb that Philadelphia had. Maybe they're playing a little bit more passive in case it comes, but you got to do something to slow them down.
Well, somebody like Rashawn Williams, so good at shaking tackles, and to me, that's been the most difficult thing for Boston tonight is They can't stop anybody on a dime. They have missed tackles, and 3 to 4 extra yards are gained each carry, making it 3rd and 3, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Boston doesn't have multiple people on the ball carrier tonight, it seems that there's going to be a broken tackle, like you said.
Fretz with the first down, spreading it out wide around that left side, and again, you see the frustration on the Rebels' defense. That time we had a chance to look at Duncan on him, and not used to being pushed around at the moment as they have been.
Yeah, and certainly not against this Philly squad, because Boston, they've played really solid against Philly throughout this entire season. And now, there's still plenty of game to, still plenty of game to go. Don't get me wrong. But so far in the first, the first quarter and change, it's looking good in Philly's favor.
The offensive line just continuing to push and dominate this Philadelphia O-line against this Boston D. It's been a really impressive sight to behold. Now we see motion by tight end Jonathan Kilgore. Play clock down to 5. Interception, and boy, that's dunking on him. We talked about how frustrated he was getting pushed around out there, so he just goes out, makes an interception, cuts it back the other way, and gets down to the Philadelphia 38.
That is certainly a way to turn it around, Mr. Onham. Helping in coverage, and that wasn't even his man. He was locked in on the other on the other route. He was covering Jonathan Kilgore. Kilgore had separation, but Onham read the eyes of the quarterback and caught it off of another player's route. What a play there for Boston, and a way to turn the tides. Now, hopefully, if you're Boston's offense, you just got to charge down the field and put some points up.
Huge defensive play, and that word right there, DJ, you use charge. They need to attack here from the 38-yard line. really try to get some points. Play clock down to 6. Handoff goes to West for a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
You know, and you look at this Philadelphia defense, they have been very, very solid when it comes to slowing down runners all season. And another part of their game that gets a little outshadowed is their defensive core, like their defensive backs. They're really good in the pass defense, and right now we're seeing it on full display from a team that is Boston, who loves passing the ball. They have 151 yards per game to match 86 rush yards per game. So, you know, they like to stick with a balanced attack, but right now their passing attack really isn't getting it done.
What was getting it done, though, was carries with Lenore West. A good job on those last 2 carries. And here you see on 3rd down, Jacob Brewer kind of swerving in and out of lanes and gets the 1st down. And I got to say, I like this approach down here. I think they're doing a nice job with the run game on this side of the field this drive.
Yeah, I agree. And they weren't able to take advantage of the good field position. Last drive went 4 and out. But now Boston, after that pick, is looking really good. Looks like they're firing on all cylinders.
1st and 10, back to the ground game. That time tackled for loss. What more can you say except just great defense by Zachary Babineau, the Week 4 signing, who has did a nice job getting plugged into this defensive scheme here for Philadelphia.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a hit that was. My goodness. Hitting the runner all the way back to the center on that one.
West, pressure in their face and not able to connect. 3rd and 11. I don't believe that, actually I do believe, I think West has had 1 completion up to this point, and that's been it for Dakota.
Yeah, just trying to get the receiving core involved, and we know they can. This receiving core is really, really good. But right now, Philadelphia's defense is just completely bottling it up.
3rd and 11, 3 receivers now to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top side. As the lefty will throw, tipped, intercepted, going the other way, Miranda Dumas, and 1 man to beat, thrown out at the 36-yard line. And I tell you what, for Boston there, a good drive with some potential, implications for some points, not able to get it done. This Cougars defense locks down.
Yeah, thankfully for them, they're able to get there. And it, oh my goodness, yeah, tongue twister indeed, Cam. We talked about it a little bit ago. But thankfully for Philly, able to get an interception of their own and take it back a little bit of the ways. And both of those, returning interceptions got stopped by offensive linemen, thankfully for the offenses. But wow, now we're back to even ground before both those turnovers happened.
There must be something in this press box up here, something in the air. I don't know. We are tongue-tied this evening, folks. 2nd and 1 here coming up. We can't even blame it on the jet lag. We're just calling 1 game tonight.
Yeah. Not much to blame it on except, long weeks. Got a lot of days to get through before you can enjoy your Thursday night with us.
You've been jet setting for the last couple of weeks, calling multiple games in different continents. Look at Fretz right here talking about enjoying themselves. Jesse Fretz doing a great job. Yeah, I mean, look,
he's having a blast.
Yeah,
and a really nice run. Just Philly again, and their only mistake this entire game is, in one of the very few pass attempts they had. If I'm not mistaken, that was their 3rd or 4th pass, Cam, and it was an interception. Let's keep the ball on the ground. Let's keep chugging along. There is nothing stopping them right now from doing that.
Williams that time, just as we said, interchangeable between these two. And Williams with a gain of 5 on 1st down. Again, look at the tempo. Folks, it's 6:30 Eastern time. We are halfway through the 2nd quarter of this game.
Goodness.
Kicked off at 6, 30 minutes in, and we're not very far from halftime, folks. We got to expect the second half rather should go a little more slower than this, but it's because of this ground attack, just like we mentioned. Boston got in on it as well on that previous drive before the interception, but this is just a ground-heavy game that we're seeing this evening as 3rd and 4 is upon us.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see the time of possession battle, between these two teams right now.
Oh, and again, another drive where third down is just impeccable. Williams with the carry. You know what they're going to do. They're going to feed it to the halfback, and you still can't stop them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not to the fault of, I mean, Boston gets someone to the runner, it seems, pretty early on every play. Just these backs for Philadelphia are running that like they hate the ground right now. They are keeping their feet pumping and they are not going to go down easily.
Right there on that tackle that you seen on that play that just happened with Fritz, they hit them head on. If Boston is having to come at them from the side or from behind, you cannot stop this running attack. I mean, they just
Yeah,
keep plugging away.
you got to keep somebody in front of them.
Missed tackle right there. Williams making a man miss. A first down, gets out of bounds after getting the first. 2:39 remaining in this half.
Yeah, great analysis there, Cam. We see it from an angle again and again from an angle as Williams kind of takes it to the sideline now that he's past the first. And yeah, I mean, if you're Boston, maybe just try and have a few extra linebackers on the field because right now, Philadelphia is running from a lot of pass looks. And certainly now, I can't imagine they're going to run.
They line up with three receivers and an empty set. Throwing complete. First down. Great play. Good job of Skamizniak dropping back and finding Toby Bonnets on the quick route.
Yeah, Bonnets with a really nice route and a great throw from Skamizniak. Kind of little out and in route, splitting it between the defenders. And that was a really nice. You see, I think you saw the same thing, the corner on the ground there.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. That's pretty tasty. A good job of Skamizniak there, and Bonnet's cutting back inside, leaving this Boston defense reeling just a little bit as we come to the 2-minute warning here in Philadelphia. The evening shadows growing long over this beautiful stadium in the city of brotherly love on the Virtual Football Network. Well, no brotherly love is being displayed today between these two teams as Philadelphia, looking to take it to Boston here. Delayed handoff to Williams, running hard up the middle and gets, again, a gain of 7 on first down.
You know, we talk about, usually when you think of Northeastern matchups, Cameron, you automatically go to New York, Boston. But Philly and Boston, they are not too unfamiliar with each other at all. And I mean, like we said, small league we have down here. Everybody's going to play each other multiple times. And right now, it seems like the rhetoric for Philadelphia versus Boston has completely been flipped on its head.
Fritz still pushing. 3rd and 2, got close there. Talacarne comes up with the stop, a much needed stop. And a big 3rd down coming up here. If they could stop them, hold them to a field goal attempt, that'd be huge.
Yeah, I know Jesse Fretz wants to get into the end zone so badly.
Look at what we got here.
Oh, goodness. I'm not sure if I like it. They've been running so good. Why switch?
Kilgore in motion. Oh, quarterback keeper. So they don't switch. Instead, they keep it with Skamizniak on a brilliant play, diving into the end zone for the touchdown. Had us all fooled.
Absolutely did. Wow. Yeah, I guess why would they switch it up? I guess they answered it for us. Don't switch it up. If it ain't working, get another person involved. And Skamizniak sneaks his way in and gets his first rushing touchdown on the season.
The extra point is good. Philadelphia goes up by 3 scores. Yeah, what a great job. It's like they had you in their ear, and then they're just kind of like, okay, you know what? We got you, man. We ain't going to change it up. We'll keep it on the ground. Yeah. And Skamizniak with a rushing touchdown. Boy, everything that could go right is going right for Philadelphia in this first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And these Philly fans are going crazy. They got a loaded stadium tonight for this one, and we know these Philly fans are happy to see finally. I mean, again, a lot of football left to be played, but right now, taking it to Boston is Philadelphia.
Hightower, again, you see he has been busy in the backfield. He almost broke a return right there as well, but he gets it out to the 31-yard line. So 51 seconds left for the Boston Rebels, and, I'm not a coach at all, DJ, but I would have to say use this time wisely, Boston.
Yeah, absolutely. You want some points here. There's not a whole lot of time, and You know, maybe if you're able to get some points up and then go into the halftime meeting and kind of reevaluate things, throw an extra linebacker out there or two on defense. You know, I mean, they got a lot to talk about. They have a lot to talk about, I should say.
And again, this defense in particular, this secondary of Philadelphia, just locking down right now, and nobody is open for Dakota West to throw to, as that one's incomplete.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just closing down every route right now, it seems. And, you know, they're not even in too heavy of a pass defensive set. It's just that their defenders are playing so well.
Fake, and West is just going to step up and do what they can here. Sliding for the first. Timeout is called. Good decision, though, honestly. Instead of trying to force it downfield, just being able to pull it down and run with it, and gets the first.
Yeah, I mean, especially with getting the first down. And Dakota West has not been shy from running all season long, has, you know, just under 30 rushing yards with 8 attempts. You know, they'll run when they need to. And right there, we saw that on full display.
There's a man to keep your eye on, Curtis Friesen, who we haven't had to talk an opportunity about very much this evening, but that pass complete over the middle to Kleinecht. And really, isn't that something? This first half has been surprising, DJ, because we've mentioned those names: Hightower, Friesen, Kleinecht, Django West, all these good targets that Boston has developed this season, and they've just been blanketed.
Yeah, and I think you know how little we're talking about those receivers is just another point to Philly's name with how good they're playing defensively right now, just completely blanketing them.
West throwing, it is complete. They found something here. Obviously, Philadelphia maybe playing a little bit soft at the moment, letting them have the stuff underneath. Django West with that reception. But still, you know, and folks, let's not forget, no contract kicker, so they're going to have to get a little farther down the field here if they want to shot at 3 points before this half's over.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good way to put it, Cam. Philly is, you know, they're okay with letting a few short passes get complete right now for Boston.
Middle, and that's a good play. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was Friesen.
Yep.
Taking in inches, and now you're going to see Boston with no timeout. Going to have to spike the ball here, and a big 3rd and inches coming up.
Yeah, and they're going to have to complete a pass on this one, because if you're Boston, you can't run this ball. I mean, it would just completely chew the clock away, and even if you get the first, you might get one more play after that. If you're able to complete a complete a catch, maybe go out of bounds, you know, you maybe have 2 more plays, 3 if you're lucky plays left.
Don't turn this ball over here. Incomplete tip going for Kleinecht over the middle. Boston's defense right there to log it in. So we would expect to see a field goal attempt, we're thinking, right?
Yep,
and there
looks
we go.
Like they're going to call it.
Now, a 41-yard attempt again. Yeah, no contracted kicker here for Boston. So this is a tall task for the Rebels. 17 seconds left in this second quarter. The snap, the hold is good. Does it have the distance? It's good. And it's good. Hall able to somehow find a way to get that one between the 2 uprights, and a good job to get Boston on the board before halftime.
Yeah, and that one was looking scary for a second there, Cameron, but, you know, started going back to the left a little bit after it veered right for just a second, and, you know, there we go. That's a good way to start it now, you know, to end that half, I should say, as they're going to have a little bit of time to talk, regroup, maybe come out into that next half with a new game plan on how to stop this rushing attack or get your pass game more involved.
Yeah, as you said, the start for what Boston hopes is going to be a big comeback, but we will see. Down 18 points right now, 10 seconds left in this first half. And look at Philadelphia here. I highly doubt Skamizniak's going to sneak it here. They want to keep their foot on the gas. Throwing. Tipped. Oh, a million different ways it could have possibly been intercepted. But it falls to the ground incomplete. They'll have one more attempt at it if they want it.
Yeah, that one was scary there for a little bit for Philly, but Boston unable to hold on to it. And maybe something could have happened there if they got that interception, but not any luck there for Boston. Now, Philly, I'm curious to see here if they're just going to run it out. I think they are. Oh, they're not.
Oh, going back to the air once more. Interception, the second one of the day for Skamizniak, who's had some brilliant moments, but 2 INTs. This one by Hatsis is going to look good in the stats column. I guess it's kind of a punt, if you will, if you look at it that way. Just kind of threw it away there, and Hatsis able to get back downfield, but no threat of scoring as we head to the half, DJ.
Yeah, doing his best yoga pose with that interception. Getting really agile with that one, spreading the legs and getting a nice stretch in with that interception. And now, that's one half down, Cam.
Got one down, folks. It looks like it's been a topsy-turvy first half. Well, Boston able to get some points at the end there. Snapshots of the half, as you can see, as we welcome you into our headquarters here at halftime. Camera duty, DJ Kilgannon. All right, so we know what Philadelphia's doing right. What do you want to see out of Boston coming out of the half here?
You know, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Maybe just get some more big bodies out there. You know, Boston's defense is not bad. They have a very solid unit. Their defensive line is tremendous. Their corners and linebackers, fantastic. I just think you need a little bit more weight to help bring down Williams right now. And if you're on the offense, maybe throwing a few more of those little fake routes. We saw the one that was out and in worked really well. You know, previously, maybe do a few more trick routes, maybe some more motion on the offense to try and fool Philly.
We welcome you back to Philadelphia. And as we said, right now, the home team, the Cougars, well in control, but Boston, as we said, able to get some points on the board before half, and now they've got the football to start the second half, wanting to come out here rejuvenated and ready to go as they will start from the 32-yard line. Thanks to everybody out here in the chat, enjoying watching what everybody has to say. Jimmy Hatsis, Jason Peace, David Leathers checking in, Dondays Talacarne. Thanks to Dondays for helping with our broadcast tonight and some quotes that we were able to put out there. DJ doing a great job of reporting on that one. Frank Doom, of course, Justin Bates, Zach Benjamin. Fumble right off the bat. Oh, my goodness. And the Philadelphia defense comes up once more. Who would have thought it?
That has to be so heartbreaking. Oh, I can't believe that.
Lenore West making a very agile move there to try to cut back inside, and I believe that was Zachary Babineau who just jarred that one loose.
Yeah, it was, and Don Rohr was able to scoop it up for Philly. That has to hurt. Lenore getting, her second fumble of the season, and what a bad time to get it in. That coming out of the half, and you come out and expecting some better things, to come your way, and unfortunately unable to as they fumble that one away. Wow.
Play clock down to 5. Great job of finding Jamar Shelton downfield. Good throw by Skamizniak there. And a 1st and 10 for Philadelphia.
Yeah, really nice there. Just textbook little over the middle route right over the top of the linebackers, and we've talked about it a lot this ongoing season. These teams will run a drag route with the receiver over the middle and then a deeper slant with one over the top of the linebackers, and just helps create a lot of room because those linebackers got to come down and help with the drag. It lets that deep slant get open in the empty space that drag creates.
Williams with a gain of 4 on 1st down, and you can see, business as usual here for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to go far away from that great rushing attack, and we continue to see Rashawn Williams and Jesse Fretz out there. Also, fullback John Osmosis checking into the game here.
Yeah.
Out front blocking for Fretz. Been moved by Jesse. And gets close to 1st down. They're going to say a 3rd and 3, but let me ask you, DJ, have we actually seen Philadelphia in anything less or more, I should say, than a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 today? I don't think so.
I'm not too sure off the top of my head, but no, it does not feel like it at all, Cam. They have just been efficient in all ways.
Hand off, and they're going to get the stop because Philadelphia took a chance there and decided to hand it off to the fullback off the bench, number 40 there. I'll have to check the name on that one. But he does not get the first down, and that brings out the kicking unit.
Yeah. I'm sure when they put that one in the playbook, it was more meant for osmosis. But, he was sure tired from that last play. Had some great blocking, and now going onto the field and knocking one through the uprights. And, at least if you're not going to score a touchdown off the turnover, you're going to get the field goal. And, that basically makes the field goal that Boston had completely obsolete, making it again a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah, completely negated it as Grammatica gets the kick. A wobbly sort of field goal there with a funny little trajectory on it, but it works. And Philadelphia gets 3 on the board off of the fumble recovery. And that's a big thing. Points off turnover here. Cruz with the return that time. We've seen it a couple of times in this game, in this season, where Boston has had a critical turnover that has lost them some points. And again, you've seen it happen there.
Yeah, again, and now you're just hoping if you're Boston that you can bounce back, because only 2 minutes taken away, and things are looking a little scary.
Dakota West to throw, not much time at all back there to get rid of it. Does a good job though of finding Mike Klenect on the run. He was chugging down through the center of the field. They're pretty hard to get in position to catch that one, and he was able to do so.
Yeah, absolutely was. And there's a lot of tight ends this season that have kind of made their mark on teams, and Klenect, I think, has to be one of the highlights of that narrative. He has just really came out into this Boston team and just been such a reliable target for Dakota West all season.
Lenore West again with the carry, trying to get something happening after that last carry resulted in that fumble. That's a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Rebels.
And looking into this game, before this week, Mike Klenect and Curtis Friesen were the 2 top targets for Dakota West. Oh. There we go. What a catch.
Look at that. And ooh. Curtis Friesen, again, like we said, quiet most of this game. One-handed grab like that, that'll wake your team up. Got the defense excited, too.
Yeah, absolutely will. Finally getting involved. Captain Cole jumping it up, catching it with one-handed right in the face of the defender. And you see the stats there for Dakota. Only 37.4 passer rating, but that's a good way to bump it up a little bit with a really good completion downfield.
We typically call Captain Cole that for many reasons, but one of them is not because he hasn't had many touches of the football. Kind of weird this evening how he has been taken out of this game plan thanks to the tough Philadelphia defense. But getting him involved there, and Lenore West goes for a good carry, 9 on the play.
Yeah, and Klenect coming into this week had 422 yards. Friesen had 423. So they're just neck and neck, and they're just a two-headed monster. And not to mention Joey Hightower, who has really been coming into his own. Last week and the week before had really big games, and Django West, who's really just a reliable target, averages right at 11 yards per catch. I mean, they just have a really, really solid squad.
Jacob Brewer with the carry that time, getting the first. Now, Dakota West to throw. There's Klenect. You talk about Curtis Friesen and Hightower neck and neck. Well, how about Mike Klenect right there? He's got some good yardage as well throughout this entire season. He has been a great weapon for Boston, and they utilize him down here in the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, 50% on completions, just over 100 yards, and now you just got to try and punch it in, whether you run or pass. It doesn't matter. Your goal has to be to get in the end zone.
Handoff carry to West, pushed backwards, not before forward progress though. So Aaron Collins meeting her head on, brings up second down.
And here we go, just such a heavy set from both sides.
5 minutes and counting in this third quarter. Boston knows they got to get it in the end zone here.
There it is.
Fighting for his life is Jacob Brewer. And the touchdown as Boston finally gets on the board.
There we go, Boston. They got the defibrillator at the half and charged some life back into this offense. Jacob Brewer fighting his way for the touchdown. And now, Boston got to get this extra point. Got to go back on defense and put a stop to the dominance that Philly has displayed on offense thus far.
A little kickstart my heart, huh?
Absolutely. Charge it up.
Makes me want to listen to a little Motley Crue this evening. Woo! Look at that extra point. That barely squeaked in there by Hall. Makes it a 2-score game. 4:58 remaining in this third. Remind me, DJ, to put that on my list of things to do this weekend. Listen to Motley Crue.
Will do. And now, Philadelphia receiving this one. Got to feel like home sweet home for them.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, here we go. Oh, I love it. Don't get me started on them musical puns. Look at Bonnet there with the carry. I tell you what. I mean, moves like that, Bonnet's cutting up field on that kick return. That's the looks that kill.
Absolutely is.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. We're all in trouble, folks, if I start this again.
I think it's best for everybody if we do, in my opinion.
If we do, well, Frank Doom's in on the action. It's a kickstart my heart. By Dr.
There we
Feelgood.
go.
Who is Dr. Feelgood on this team for Philadelphia? I think right now it's got to be Mr. Williams. I mean, he's making everybody feel good out here tonight. At least that's a Philadelphia fan. Look at that. Spin move, effortless, gain of 6. What a great job.
Yeah, and Williams just continuing it. 6 yards on the carry. Really showing his wild side coming into this game against Boston.
Frank Dooms, he's killing me. Don't go away mad. Just go away. Now, see, I've got to get the playlist out here. This is too good. Jesse France on the carry for the first down. And frustrations, DJ, such as this. I mean, for Boston, you can't stop the run. It makes you just want to let out a primal scream, if you will.
It does. Indeed. And now, it's just, if you're Boston, you just got to find a way to stop it, really. Oh, well,
there's a way to do it. Yeah, what a job. That's Morgan Brown, if I'm not mistaken, right, on that tackle? Lost it too, yeah.
Yeah, Morgan Brown getting a piece of your action there with that tackle.
Oh, fantastic. Man, I tell you what, we're pretty impressive. I hope that somebody's actually archiving this, folks. I mean, for someday we're just going to put this in a time capsule and watch it in about 20, 25 years from now. We'll all look back on this and think, man, those music-loving football fans right there in the SFLm, they knew how to have a good time.
That's right, we do, and that's what this league is all about, and just having a good time.
And there you go. I mean, Williams cutting the corner again, 1st and 10, and just eating that clock away.
Yeah, just chugging away at the clock, and we see another tackle there that's attempted at an angle. Cam, and you made the great point earlier of really Boston's just struggling to bring down those tackles from an angle, and Sean Williams is not having any of it.
No, not at all. One of the most impressive, of course, it's early to say this. It's still a 2-score game, but if this is the 3rd victory of the season for Philadelphia, easily one of their most impressive, I feel like, especially as many times as they have played their rivals here in Boston. Fritz with the carry.
Yeah, and, having lost to these guys twice, and with how the league is set up right now, Cam, it's really a first place, first A and B, and then second and fourth A and B, right? Because Boston and Philly are tied up, and then New York and San Jose are tied up. And we're going to see Brett Killian and Eddie Gage take a look at that San Jose and New York game. It's just going to be a battle of the Titans later tonight. But right now, Philly's looking like they're going to take the advantage and put themselves in the 3 spot if this game continues how it's going right now.
Big play coming up here on 3rd and 5. Kamieniak's going to throw. Pressure coming, unloads, deep, tipped, incomplete. So now we'll have to see what happens here with Philadelphia. Talacarne getting the big stop there. And that is actually not going to be a very easy field goal attempt if Philadelphia decides to take it. Again, no contracted kicker. And I think they'll just try to pin
Yeah.
Boston deep here with this punt. Probably a good
See,
decision.
yeah, and now see, Cam, this is always something I kind of thought about because I know it's a philosophy when it comes to the NCAA level. You know, a lot of teams think about it as if you're already past midfield. Why bother punting? And why not try and take another shot at the first down? You know, let's say they don't punt that and they, try it again and try and get the first down. It only gives Boston 10 more yards.
That's true. That is a good philosophy indeed. And you have a gambler's mindset anyway, DJ.
Yeah,
We've talked about
that's
that.
absolutely right.
I mean, you look for an advantage to make that happen, and I think you've got a good argument there. As West, unfortunately, able to go nowhere. It's a loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Quickly, again, through this third quarter, a minute 27 and counting.
Yeah, and we talk about that mindset. I'm sure every coach is just watching this, laughing at me, and that's why I'm not a coach, is because of that mindset.
I don't know, honestly, DJ. The more that we have progressed as in a football climate as time has went on. Obviously, I mean, not to get into a history of the game, but, let's go back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It was just a sure thing, fourth down. You're not in field goal position comfortably. You're going to punt the ball and pin them deep. But now, you see the analytics coming into play. Take a look at Klenek there with a great reception for the first down. But, you take a look at analytics and just how that's kind of changed the way that football is played. It's a good argument for what you were proposing there.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt to see, and right now, Boston, it might lean in their favor to take that mindset, but their coaches know better than I do, certainly.
Connect down the middle again. They have finally found something here with West being able to find Mike Klenek, easily the most wide open of any of the receivers tonight.
Yeah, and just getting him even more involved. Certainly, after this game, going to push him into the, marquee guy for them as far as yards go for this Boston squad. And, if Boston's able to keep that connection going, they might be able to charge back into this game and maybe make a comeback.
Curtis Friesen, Captain Cold there moving up top side. 1st and 10. We'll get one more playoff here at least before we go to the quarter break. 1 yard gain, 2nd and 9. Folks, again, just to tell you the intensity of this game and how ground heavy it's been, and we haven't had any penalties and very few clock stoppages. It's not even 7 o'clock on the East Coast, folks, and we are 3 quarters in to this matchup. Philadelphia leading Boston, but a glimmer of hope that the Rebels are hanging on to. They want to keep this drive alive and make it a 1-score game. You're watching the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. Cameron Duty here with DJ Kilgannon and Alex West back at headquarters. And it's been a topsy-turvy game. We've talked about it being heavily one-sided for Philadelphia, but Boston still in this thing. If they can keep this drive alive, and I don't sleep on any of these teams in this league, DJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what a sack.
Oh. Yeah, that's a drive killer right there.
Yep.
Number 93 coming in, making the tackle. That's Rose Steele. She did a great job of getting to the QB.
Yeah, and Rose Steele also had a big part in that tackle for loss, or it was just a gain of 1, pretty close to a tackle for loss. Helped bottle up that last run we saw, and defensive line really showing up for Philly right now.
Third and 12. Big play coming up here. And again, the defense getting home. A heat-seeking missile. Number 57 coming in for Philadelphia and getting the sack. Let's see, can we get a name on that? That's a young man off the bench.
Ward, maybe?
Ward, I think. Yeah.
Something that ended with a D.
My goodness. Well, as we said, came in with a heat-seeking missile and stops that drive.
Yeah.
Rudd, thank you. Commissioner Alex West coming in there with letting us know that was Rudd coming off the edge and stopping what was a really good drive there.
Yeah, really good start to it and did not end well for Boston. 2 sacks to end it. And the defensive line really just showed up in full front at the end of that drive.
Frank Doom letting us know that was Dwayne Rudd. He also asked me if I have still been working on the legs or if I've been skipping leg day. Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Never. I don't. Matter of fact, I had that going before I got in here. You could ask DJ. I was doing my leg exercises before we came on the air.
Yeah, when we were doing pregame, he was doing leg press. I'll put that to anything. He was grinding while we were pregaming. You know.
Yeah. In fact, Frank, when we leave here, DJ's going to get on a jet. I told him I need to work on my legs. I'm just going to walk back home.
Yeah, they told me Cam wasn't flying back. I was like, well, I guess that's a little bit more leg room for me. But it's gonna be a long walk back home. Hope you brought your running shoes, Cam.
Oh, I did. I'm in Philadelphia. I got the Rocky theme song on my phone there. So
There you go.
I'm gonna fly now. It's gonna be good. Hand off here for Fred. 3rd and 4 coming up. Jesse Fritz in the chat says there are days other than leg day. No, not that I know of.
Yeah, we make so many music puns and stuff like that, but we're certainly taking I could walk 500 miles to another jump with that, Cam.
And then I'd walk 500 more.
Yeah.
Bizniak throwing deep, almost intercepted. 4th and 4. And you know what? Here is the cloud with the silver lining as Talacarne coming up with another pass deflection. The fact is that was a short drive for Philadelphia. It didn't last. It was one of those 5-6 minute drives that we've seen all night. And it actually is going to allow Boston to get the ball back here with some time to work if they can strike quickly.
Yeah, I was kind of, I don't know about you, I was a little bit surprised to see the pass at the end of that one.
I was too.
Boston certainly has a little bit of hope. They just need 2 scores. They can do it.
I fully expected run, just as you mentioned there, and Lynch laying the lumber there to Friesen, who was put back there to try to get something going on the kick return or punt return, and just not able to do it. 85 yards to go here for the Rebels. Frank Doom says, going the distance with the eye of the tiger in your burning heart. Well, I know what I'm doing after these games tonight. I'll be putting the Rocky trilogy on. Jeez. Gotta go. That's a good question. All right. So we're watching this game, of course, and, this thing is not over, but I do want to know if y'all can tell me in the chat, what was your favorite Rocky movie? We're in Philadelphia, after all. I mean, come on. What was your favorite of the Rocky series? As good as that first one was, I love the 4th one. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I love that Rocky versus Drago. Maybe it's because it was one of the first I ever seen. I actually seen them out of order, so that one's got a special place in my heart. As Brewer there with the carry on 2nd and 6 coming up here.
The SFLm commissioner would like to interject and add that the opinions of Cameron Duty broadcaster and are not endorsed by the league. Rocky 1 is the best, and that is all.
Well, listen, my father would agree with you, Commissioner West, 100%. He thinks I'm crazy when I say that. It is an incredible movie, there's no doubt. As Kleinecht with the 1st and 10, we'll check the chat in just a minute and see what everybody has to say about that. As Dakota West, though, stringing some good passes here, getting them up the midfield.
Yeah, certainly, and carrying it along well. And I think I've got to agree with the masses here. Rocky 1 is it for me, but make you feel a little bit better. I also watched it out of order. A lot of those movies came out well before I was born into the world. Rocky 5 came out 14 years before I was born, I think. But I have watched them all, and Rocky 4 certainly not up there on my list.
Power. He's been listening to that Rocky soundtrack all the way down inside the 5. 1st and goal. This Boston team not out of it. My goodness.
Wow, there we go. what a play from Hightower. And I didn't think anybody was going to catch him. And I think if that one was thrown a little bit more in front of him rather than him having to turn around and make that catch and try and, get his, head of speed back going, I think he would have been gone. But with how he had to make that catch, unfortunately for Boston, able to catch up with him.
Folks, we're setting up for an exciting ending to this game, and we'll talk about that point in just a moment. West to throw, incomplete. Had Bismarck right there in the back, but it was covered well, and a shot laid on Bismarck right indeed by Philadelphia. Second and goal here.
Oh, here we go. They got a few more downs to try and get it in. Now I imagine if you're this close, you got to go for it on fourth if the opportunity comes. But looks like they're going to run it here against this heavy set defense.
Running it with West, who want to get some forward progress there. Not much, so that sets up a big third and goal here. And you know what? I know what we're going to say here, DJ. Call me crazy. You probably even agree with me. A field goal is nice and all, but my goodness, I think I'd have to go for it all 4 downs here.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think if they go for a field goal, they're playing to lose.
Man in motion. That's Curtis Friesen to the bottom of your screen. Keep an eye on him.
Ooh, a lot of room to run to the right.
And they keep it on the ground, and it makes you wonder if they are thinking about just doing the 4 downs here as Collins gets the stop.
Let's see.
And they go for the field goal.
They're going to kick it.
So they go for the points.
Unless
Philadelphia. It's true. Hall with the 3 points. That's good, making it an 11-point game. Time, however, is not on their side. But again, though, we'll see what the defense can come up with.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just points on the board, try and, get a little bit of momentum for this team. Maybe that's the angle there. And to Boston's credit, they did a really good job of stopping Philly, on that last drive. Maybe they're trusting their defense a little bit more to stop the run game. But I don't know. With that field goal, they're basically in the same scenario they were without the field goal. But now this time, if they score 2 touchdowns, they'll win rather than tie. But you still need 2 touchdowns nonetheless.
I got to stop it. I got to address a comment in the chat. I asked if you're just tuning in what your favorite Rocky movie was. Jason Peace made sure to let me know his favorite was the one with Bullwinkle.
The one with Bullwinkle.
The one with Bullwinkle. Yeah, okay. Go. I like it. I like it a lot. Some people actually are saying Rocky 4 out there. Think outside the box says the best one was 4. Oh, and a good grab that time by number 10, Toby Bonnets of Philadelphia.
There we go. Really nice route.
Ran the route well, got in front of the defender.
Yep. That's all we can ask for. And a great pass to match. I'm surprised Philly is passing right now.
Frank Doom says he used to do stomach crunches to the movie fights and the music while the movie played. Ended up doing 2,000 stomach crunches total. Man.
2,000?
2,000.
Golly, I probably can't even count that high.
That's 100, or that's actually 1,999 more than what I'm able to do.
Yeah, no joke. That's making my gut sore even thinking about that.
And I'll go back to my leg workout.
There you go.
2nd and 10 coming up here for Philadelphia, trying to ice this one. Clock winding here, 3:41 and counting as we've got 3rd and 10. Boy, for Philadelphia, it's been such an interesting game. It's felt like a roller coaster. I think it's the best analogy that I can come up with, DJ. I mean, we had Philadelphia dominating to start. Now let's not forget, they went up by 3 scores before halftime. They have only been able to put 3 points up since they come back out of the lockers. So, I mean, Boston's did a pretty good job of containing them as we go empty set here on 3rd and 10. But the Boston offense not able to put too much up on the board in return. And take a look at that. Holy cow. Finding down there somewhere Ladam McBrowski, the week 3 signing, coming up with a big play.
I'm not mistaken, first catch of the game for McBrownski, and what a time to make it. Splitting the gap between the safeties, and what a throw by Skamizniak.
I'm telling you what, I thought, I'm thinking empty set. Surely to goodness, they're just going. I was almost expecting Skamizniak to take off with it again, like we seen earlier,
Yeah.
but no, they stand in there, throw the bomb all the way down here to the 14-yard line of Boston, and that looks like it could be coffin nails as they give it to Williams, who just will not go down.
Yeah, not at all. He's just running with pure anger right now. He's hitting somebody every time he gets the ball. He's just trying to completely shut down the will of the Rebels right now.
Frank Doom again saying that was a Rocky Balboa uppercut to end the fight. I'd have to agree. 2 minutes remaining, and Philadelphia going to get win number 3 on the season. You're watching the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. Don't go anywhere. And when I say don't go anywhere, I mean don't go anywhere, because at 8:30 we have a great game coming up, as we mentioned, and a great broadcasting team. Take a look at this. John Osmosis with the carry, the big fullback getting the first, and that is going to cause Boston to have to use one of their timeouts.
Yep, got 2 left. And if you're Philly, I've got to imagine that one more score, Cam, I don't know about you, probably puts it out of reach a little bit, but you're Boston, maybe if you stop them and you kind of see what you can do. If they score a field goal, there's still hope.
Williams with the final dagger, touchdown. We can go ahead and say it tonight, I believe, unless, and I would be surprised if you disagree with me, partner, but there's your game ball, your player right there, capping it off with a touchdown once more.
Yeah, I usually like to be different and pick somebody else than you, but Cam, I think you were exactly right. I don't think there's much. You know what? I will be different. Shout out to the offensive line. They blocked tremendously all night for Rashawn Williams to work.
I love it. There's usually always more than one player out there worthy of getting a game ball and being mentioned, and you find it there. An incredible offensive line led by Leo Chang, Astro Smith, and Scott Calvin, all paving the way for Rashawn Williams and Jesse Fretz and John Osmosis and Mike Skamizniak as well tonight.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's 3 rushing touchdowns on the night. Skamizniak had his, and Rashawn Williams had a pair. That moves Rashawn Williams up to 8 right now for the season, Cam. That's just, when you think about it, that's so shocking to me. He was a week 2 signing and already has 8 rushing touchdowns.
I got to tell you, it's kind of like this back in black attitude here of Philadelphia. Those black jerseys, I mean, they come out here, they played with an incredible attitude, honestly, tonight. I mean, the hits were hard. Great play calling on the offensive side, and this defense just took care of business.
Yeah, taking it back to the attitude era and just putting it pedal to the metal, winning by any means. Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness! Eating moss literally made Dakota West eat grass.
Oh my goodness, that might have been one of the hardest hitting sacks I've seen in a while.
One word.
My goodness.
One word, obliterated.
Yeah, wow. What a hit.
My
full
goodness.
Head of steam, full speed, just pile drive.
And props to West for being able to just get back up and throw another football after that. My goodness. Klein gets the reception there. West getting the pass away. 3rd and 3 coming up. My gosh, what a shot that was. I'm still reeling from it.
Yeah, we talk about the attitude area. That was like a Bill Goldberg spear right there to Dakota West.
Did I ever tell you I met Bill Goldberg?
Really?
I did. It was a great moment.
Wow.
A buddy of mine, pretty big auto racing fans, NASCAR fans, and we ran into him at a local race, and he was the grand marshal. Matter of fact, as that pass is incomplete. Ran into him in the gift shop. There was nobody in there except the person working the cash register, myself, my buddy, and Bill Goldberg in the entire building.
Huh.
And so then I just so happened to kind of nonchalantly happened to walk up and, oh, I was looking for the same jacket here that Bill Goldberg was. So we just happened to be standing in the exact same area. And it's like, oh, okay, Bill, didn't expect to see you here. He was a good guy about it. I probably, invaded his space doing that, but he was so nice. He was able to take some pictures with us. And
Wow.
the dude literally said, "Listen, if we're going to take a picture," he said, "we got to do it right." He said, "So get your fist up."
There
So
you go.
I put my fist up next to his. His fist dwarfed mine. I mean, literally, his fist would have made two of mine.
Wow.
I
Well,
mean, unreal.
Bill Goldberg, if you're watching this on some off chance, if you're out there watching this, you should be proud. You got to meet the great Cameron Duty, and out in a gift shop, and you should be honored. You even got a picture with him.
Little did he know.
Little did he know. Now you're out here calling games, SFLm action. Who could miss it on Thursday? Obviously, Bill Goldberg's out there watching somewhere.
He is. Maybe getting ready for like a WrestleMania comeback or something, but he has SFL on in the training room.
Yeah,
No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Folks, we have had some fun here tonight as you see Philadelphia begin to run the clock out. And let's talk real quick, DJ, about this matchup that's coming up. I mean, we've got at 8:30, you've got a great game. We've got San Jose going to New York. Brady White going against the good, the G2G connection of the Goodmans there, and a great crew that's going to be on hand to call tonight's game, which is Eddie Gage and Brick Hillian.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a great job of on-air talent being picked for that game tonight. Going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love calling these double games. I love getting to do the back-to-back. But I have never been so happy to miss a week. And I'm super excited to see, the TSAT crew, come down to the minors and show some love to all these guys and call a great game as they always do, and very excited to get to watch that one back.
Yeah, the streets are talking, and it says, guess what? Let's go catch game 2 of this SFLm Thursday night doubleheader. And one final punt here for Philadelphia, and this will probably just about do it. But we expect that to be a good game.
Yeah,
3
two best in the
remaining.
league.
Yeah, absolutely. So, going to be a lot of fun. We invite you all to stick around for that one. And thank you all for, participating in the chat. You guys are such a big reason as to why things around here are enjoyable as they are. We love the interaction with you guys. And one final play here for the Boston Rebels, wanting to go out with a bang. It is complete to connect, and that'll do it, DJ. Final score, Philadelphia over Boston 31-13. Your final thoughts, my friend?
Just utter domination. Coming into this one, both of these teams just looked pretty even. And, even, maybe in the back of your mind, you think Boston's going to come away with another win, already having 2 over Philly. But Philly just showed up and performed the way we know they can. Just put the work to Boston. I think that's the only way to see it. I'm super excited to see the time of possession between the two here. 24-23 to 15-37. My goodness.
And that kind of says it all. As we mentioned, our game ball's going to Rashawn Williams and this Philadelphia offensive line. Folks, we'll get you ready for that second game for Alex West, my buddy DJ Kilgannon. My name's Cameron Duty. Thank you for watching the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. We'll see you next week.
SFLN Nation, pardon me while I do some stats recordings just so we've got it for posterity.